Hey guys, Jen here with the Diary of a Dreamer, and today I wanted to bring you another process video. I left off on day 4, so I'm going to do day 5, hopefully through day 9. We'll see how all that goes. I don't want the video to take too long, so let's get started. Alright, so we're starting here with day 5, which was pretty simple. You see me writing on the top of a photo, and it just says, a typical evening at home, video games, and my laptop, because this is lately what we do in the afternoons and evenings. He plays video games on the TV on his PlayStation, and I just watch videos on my my laptop. That journaling card that you see right there is one that I got from the Jasmine Jones mini kit, the digital mini kit. And then I just did my journaling in Photoshop and I printed it out. It just says that yesterday was our first day going back to the gym. Lee's really excited that I agreed to go with him. This is the first time in over a year that I've been to the gym. This might suck a lot more than I think it will. I really need to start working out more though and get back in shape. So at the bottom of that, I just used my ruler date stamp from Staples and stamped December 5th, 2016. Right here you see me looking through my tiny word stickers again. After watching several of Allie's videos through December Daily, Elizabeth from Eternally Inspired Mama, and Amy Gretchen, I've decided I really want to try to use my little word stickers a lot more because I've got quite the collection of them. So the one that you see me using is from a Studio Calico kit, and it says just do it. So on December 6th was our rhythm guitarist's birthday. For those of you who don't know, my boyfriend is in a band, and it was the rhythm guitarist's birthday on the 6th. So we surprised him. They drove down from the Raleigh area to where we live, and we went to one of mine and Lee's favorite dinner places. That's called Samurai. It's a Japanese steakhouse and hibachi. So again, I'm just looking through all of my smaller alphas that I keep in a Studio Calico bag that I got when I used to subscribe to Studio Calico. All of my small alphas, my cork numbers, stuff like that goes in there. My bigger alphas are kept in a larger drawer on my craft desk right next to the tripod, actually. So the cards that I ended up using in this spread are all from the Surprise Story Kit. Just because I wanted to use the Surprise Story Kit, and I felt that it was most appropriate because this entire night was such a surprise to Brandon. He had no idea what was happening. So right now you'll see me pulling out the bigger alphas. I'm just looking for something to write the date with on that red exclamation card that you see. I settled on some just some regular black thickers that are in my set. And I just stick out 6 December, or at least the abbreviation for December. Real quick, I want to apologize for my voice. In my last video, I mentioned that my allergies were kicking me in the face, and now I think I'm on the back end of that. I don't really have a voice, or I do, but it just sounds really weird. This past weekend, I didn't really have a voice, which was terrible because we had a show this past weekend. And trying to talk over loud music is always fun. Now you just see me adhering the day 5 picture of mine and Lee's feet at the gym to the back of the date card for the 6th. I'm just going to slip that in the pocket real quick. So most of these pictures, actually all of these pictures right now are printed with my Canon Selphy, and which by now most people should know the Canon Selphy does not print true 4x6 photos. So what I'm doing with this group photo that you see right here is I'm just adhering it to the journaling card from the day before as well, so that way it doesn't slide around and it's got a nice little white border around it. Now I am just digging for some labels from Recollections because I want to do a tiny bit of journaling at the top of that photo. I start looking through, or did I use an Ellie Edwards one? No, she didn't have any black ones this year. Yeah, this is a Recollections label that I bought from Michaels that I'm looking for. Just a small one, just to do a tiny bit of journaling at the top of that photo. There we go. So I start with that label and I just write out the whole group, and in parentheses I write that Cheyenne is the one actually taking the photo. I'm using one of my Slick Writer pens. And then when I get done, I realize that there was more room in the label than I expected there to be. I guess I didn't write big enough, so you're going to see me try to pull this label up, and it's going to take me a minute. But eventually, the camera's going to cut out for a second because I got fed up and I turned off the camera to fight with it. And I also had to charge my camera battery. And so, yeah. Lesson learned here. I'm going to start trying to write out some of my journaling a little bit before I try to put it on the label, or at least use a pencil so I can go over it with a pen once I decide that that is all that I want to say, because getting this label up was a serious pain in the rear end. But I did manage to get the label up with minimal residue left on the photo, if any. I think I ended up grabbing a freaking paint scraper here. If that tells you how determined I am to get this stinking thing off the photo, because I really don't want to have to reprint the photo. I'm running low on Canon selfie paper and ink, and I have another project that I have to get done here soon. As a Christmas present, so I need all of the paper and ink I have. Alright, so we're going to cut out here in just a second. And now we're back. As you can see, I changed the label at the top of that photo. It's just a smaller one. And I'm just going to put that in the pocket, if I can figure out which way it goes in. And then I'm going to move on to the photo of Brandon covering his mouth. If you look at the top right photo next to the December date card, that red exclamation point card, that is our lead guitarist, our lead singer, holding a brand new guitar, and that is what we as a group bought Brandon for his birthday. It's a nice PRS guitar, Paul Reed Smith, and that's about as far as I know about that guitar. It's a beautiful cherry red color. But Brandon had no idea, and so that's his surprise. And at the top of that photo, I just used one of the surprise stamps that says OMG, and I just used my StazOn ink and stamped that at the top. That's the first time I've ever actually stamped on a photo. I usually don't do that, but I figured I'd give it a try. Something I'm learning or wanting to do more is actually, get out there a little bit with my techniques and stamp on photos and use more labels and stuff like that. So now you see me just trying to figure out what to do with the photo of Brandon holding his guitar. And I just take the other half of that label from the 4x6 and just put it in the top corner. I go back to the surprise stamp set and I grab the Epic stamp. And I just use my black, for this one I just use the Memento ink. I usually only use the StazOn. Really, actually, right now the only time I've used the StazOn is to stamp on that photo. Maybe I've used it on a couple past spreads, but I think that it is, I won't use it in, like, my journaling and whatnot in my little traveler's notebook thingy, because it bleeds through. So I don't use it as often as I probably should. That big 4x6 journaling card is again from the surprise story kit, and there's just a lot of journaling about how it was Brandon's birthday and how we really surprised him with the guitar and with dinner, and he had no idea what was happening. Now we're on to day 7. You see me struggling to get that card out of the pocket. That is, once again, from the surprise story kit. I used that particular kit and these two spreads because they were both surprise stories. You see me cut that card down a little bit because it's not quite fitting in my album, and then my lovely little paper trimmer gets stuck, so then I have to go pull out the scissors. It's great. I just replaced that blade not too long ago too, so I don't know why it's acting up. That bottom 4x6 card was originally a 3x4 card from the same story kit, and it says the best surprise today, and that's just where I handwrite my journaling. I'm actually thinking that I might redo that card because I don't like how the journaling turns out in the end. It's like different sizes, and I just don't like the way it's all written out, so I'm probably going to redo that card. So this story is about that blue microphone that you see in the right photo. It is actually called the brand is Blue. If you can see where the part you talk into, it says Blue. This is a microphone that Lee bought me because I paid for his tattoo and he wanted to pay me back. And I was jokingly like, okay, cool, you can help me get a microphone for my YouTube channel. And that is actually exactly what he did. We went to Guitar Center. We bought this blue microphone. It's gorgeous. It's like really old school style. I love it. He bought it used. And it was crazy because when it showed up at Guitar Center, we opened it up to make sure everything was in there. And it was all still in the original packaging. Like, the microphone itself came in this nice wooden box. Like all of the cords and stuff were still wrapped. So we pretty much got a brand new microphone for like half the price, and it is ridiculous. But it was such a nice surprise. I didn't really know what the microphone was going to look like. I just knew he was buying a microphone. He wanted it to be a Christmas present, but I kind of fought with him a little bit about that being a Christmas present because I already know what it is. I know you're getting me a microphone. Why is it a Christmas present? Because I know what it is. So it was kind of fun. So that day we also had to buy all the supplies for it. So we bought me a pair of headphones. So when I'm recording, I can kind of drown everything else out. I had to buy a mic stand because unfortunately, it didn't come with a mic stand. I had to buy like one more cable to actually connect the microphone to the interface that I had to buy. I had to buy a Focusrite interface to hook it up to my computer to actually do the recording. It was actually quite expensive, but Lee said that all of the extra parts would become one of my Christmas presents, and I didn't fight with him on that because it was a little bit more than we were expecting. So, it took me a little while to get all the software downloaded and set up that night on my computer, but it was finally done. It was kind of confusing, but thank God for YouTube videos, because literally that's how I figured everything out, was YouTube videos. Because the biggest part of trying to figure out everything was the interface, the Focusrite interface. And it didn't come with any instructions. So, eventually we were led back to the Focusrite website where we could actually download the software and stuff. And there was a little bit more instructions. There were some how-to videos there too. So that was super helpful. So I get to the bottom of this card and there's a whole bunch of blank space left open. So I go back to the surprise stamp set, and I'm gonna pull out the Amazing and Surprise stamps. They're both in Allie's handwriting, and I'm just gonna put them side by side and stamp them down, just because it was such an amazing surprise. I don't get ink evenly on the stamp, so they're not quite, I just realized I'm totally off camera, sorry guys. They don't quite stamp properly. So I end up having to take, give me 1 second, let me figure out what kind of marker that is. Still fiddling with the stamp to get it down, but like I said, it didn't stamp evenly, so I ended up going and getting my Faber-Castell Pitt Artist pen. It is the big one, the big brush pen. Allie used it in a couple of her videos for like handwriting kind of stuff, and I thought it was awesome, so I took that marker, and I just went over parts of the stamp that didn't get enough ink, and you really can't tell the difference. It's pretty awesome. It's the first time I'm really using the big brush pen, and I am very glad that I bought it because it really did come in handy. So you just see me tracing over the stamp in her handwriting. just to make it more even. And I think this spread is pretty much done. Now I just gotta, I gotta get the number. I'm trying to figure out what to do with that plus sign card from the story kit because I have no idea what to do with that card. And then, like I said, I realized I don't have a number for the day. So I'm gonna go through, I've got a bunch of big numbers from past December daily story kits. I've got a red set and a gold set, and that's what I end up using. Oh, I didn't realize that, yeah. I did cover the bottom part of that photo and the top part in some glittery black washi tape, just to add some kind of decoration to the photo. Yeah, I totally missed that part. I'm not quite sure where I got the glittery washi tape. It was probably from Michaels. It was probably during Halloween. Knowing me, I'm sorry, I'm still completely off camera. I thought I was better about that, but, it's just sometimes it's easier to hold it up to closer to my face while I'm doing something to try to figure it out. Now I'm putting everything back in the pockets. Decide not to use that star, and this is when I go looking for the numbers. I decided to use, I was looking for number 6, and then I realized I was looking at the wrong day. So, I eventually find my number 7. Because I'm like, oh wait, this is the 7th, because the 6th was Brandon's birthday. Good job, Jen. At least I didn't hear anything down. And then I just slipped that 7 into the pocket, and call that spread done. And you'll see pictures of everything at the end of the video. So now I'm moving on to day 8. I know I said that I was going to do up to day 9, but I'm just going to stop at day 8. Day 9 was super busy with some shows and stuff, so that'll have to be in a different video. So right now I'm just looking through all of my 3x4 physical cards that I have, trying to find a good journaling card. Not a lot really happened on the 8th of December. I really just spent the day working on my December daily album, and that's the day I recorded my very first process video. So I'm just looking for a good card. As you can tell, I have a whole handful of cards. Some of those, like that blue, like the blue and silver one that's right there on the top of the left, that is actually a cut apart from a Recollections paper pad. These are from, these cards right here, the ones that look very similar to each other, are all from the Seasons Project Life kit. So I finally narrowed it down, and then I'm just going to go through those handful of cards really quick. I don't like that one. I've used that one before. The snow really doesn't fit. So then I decide on the Details card. That is from the Paisley Press mini kit. I know that I don't really want to do a whole lot of journaling, so I'm just going to stick with that card. I'm looking through my stamps and seeing what I want to use. My video cut out again. Luckily I caught it really quickly though. So right now I'm just journaling in pencil. Literally it just says working on my December daily album and recording my first process video. I decided to write it out in pencil to make sure that I can get everything on there, and then I'm gonna go over it later with a Slick Writer pen again. What am I doing? It's always kind of fun when I record the voiceovers a couple days later, because then I'm like, I have no idea what I was doing when I was off camera. But I am actually looking for something to fill that center box right there. Just trying to see what I can put there. Don't remember why I was I was measuring to see if I could cut down a piece of that paper. But you'll see that I decided not to do that. And I'm just going to dig through some of my stickers that I have in the corner of my desk. I really like those ones right there, but I ended up not using it. I don't know why. I think I'm going to go back and add. I'm actually thinking about going back. They're like little, they're little animals. And there's one holding a string of lights, and I think I'm going to go back and put that on the photo, one of the photos from when we decorated the tree. Oh, this is where I decide. I pull stamps from the 2014 December Daily stamp set. It says, "'Tis the season to be jolly," in a circle, and then just 3 little stars in the center. That's actually how they are on this stamp set. And then I use my ruler date stamp and just stamp December 8th. Trying to figure out how to do that and not get all of this stamp was kind of fun, so trying to get creative here. I really need to do better about staying on the frame. I am terrible. So this is where I just take that Slick Writer pen again really quick and just go over the journaling. I really do like that pen. For the few times that I've actually written on photos, it has been really great. Doesn't smear, so I really recommend, if you want to write on your photos, to go to either Hobby Lobby or Michael's and go find it. And when I did my erasing, it didn't smear to erase the pencil line, or the pencil marks. It didn't smear at all, so that was very impressive. And then I'm just going to check all of the little boxes at the bottom. Treasured, happy, important, favorite, memory. I didn't check tradition, but I did check keepsake. And that photo right there is me actually trying out Allie's way of getting herself in her photos more often, where she uses the self-timer on her phone to take a picture. And I set that up on my computer desk, aimed at my craft desk, and I took that photo, and I actually really like how it turned out. So now I'm just going to look. I adhered a piece of white cardstock at the very bottom so I could do some quick journaling about what I just told you. And I actually kind of like how it all turned out. It looks pretty cool. It was kind of fun. Because, I mean, as most of you know, as memory keepers, we, as the ones creating these albums, we don't get in our own albums very often. Unless you like take a lot of selfies, which is something I've started to do, or I take a lot of photos with Lee throughout the months. And now I'm just pulling out some light blue gemstones real quick, and I'm going to put those in the remaining spot on that journaling. And then those are the December Daily. I don't know if those are from this year or not, but they're the tiny word stickers, and I just chose one that says "'Tis the season." Put that right above my journaling. Oh, I had that in reverse order, so now I do the rhinestones. That is a little tool that you can get in the silhouette section of your craft store. The end that I'm using just has like a little, it starts out kind of flat, and then it's good for like picking up enamel dots, rhinestones, and stuff like that. And the other part, the top part, is good for like picking up stars, little like the flat stars and sequins and stuff, because it's got like a kind of gummy end to it. That's become super helpful to get all of this stuff down, because those little rhinestones, they like to put up a good fight. And they don't, and the sticky part doesn't always come with the rhinestone if you're not careful. And then the photo on the bottom, which I don't really do anything to, is just a copy of my December Daily Day 1 process videos screenshot. Alright, so that is obviously the end of my video. Now on to the pictures. Thank you guys for watching, and we'll see you next time.